Strategy Management Series. Video number 123, Strategy Formulation. Evaluate your strategy. Insights from Porter's Competitive Strategy. Welcome back to the Ready MBA series on strategy management. In our previous sessions, we delved into strategy evaluation, the crucial seventh step of the strategy formulation process. This stage entails scrutinizing potential strategies for their impact, benefits, costs, and resource requirements. In previous episodes, we discussed how the planning team can define the details of a strategy using the Strategy Choice Cascade framework. The next step consists in evaluating the strategy they have formulated to ensure it is coherent, feasible, and aligned with the organization's goals, before resources are committed and execution begins. Over the past few videos, we have introduced insights and learnings from strategy thinkers and experts to help planning teams evaluate their predefined strategies. In this episode, we will continue these discussions and will analyze Michael Porter's perspective on strategy according to his book Competitive Strategy. To thrive in the competitive landscape, businesses need a strategy. And one of the most influential guides to crafting that strategy is Michael Porter's Competitive Strategy. This book lays out a framework for understanding how companies can achieve a sustainable competitive advantage. Porter argues that it's not enough to simply be better. Companies must make fundamental choices about how they will compete. He introduces key concepts like the 5 forces, which shape industry competition, and the generic strategies, which define the basic approaches to winning. By understanding these ideas, businesses can make smarter decisions about where to focus their efforts and how to outperform their rivals. To ensure a proposed strategy aligns with these principles and maximizes its potential for success, a planning team should follow this step-by-step evaluation guide. Strategy Evaluation Checklist, based on Porter. This checklist assesses a proposed strategy's quality and soundness, drawing from Michael Porter's Competitive Strategy. It emphasizes evaluating the strategy's alignment with industry structure, generic strategies, and the value chain. 1. Evaluate industry analysis and positioning. Assess the strategy's analysis of the industry structure, including its use of the 5 forces framework. The 5 forces consider threat of new entrants, bargaining power of suppliers, buyers, threat of substitutes, rivalry among competitors. Threat of new entrants, how easily new companies can enter the industry. A low threat suggests the strategy faces less risk of new competition eroding profits. Bargaining power of suppliers, influence suppliers have on input costs. A low supplier power means the strategy is less vulnerable to price increases. Bargaining power of buyers, influence customers have on pricing and terms. Low buyer power indicates the strategy has more pricing flexibility. Threat of substitutes, availability of alternative products or services that meet similar customer needs. A low threat of substitutes means the strategy has more pricing power and customer loyalty potential. Rivalry among competitors, intensity of competition among existing players. Lower rivalry suggests the strategy has a better chance of achieving and sustaining profitability. Evaluating a predefined strategy using these forces determines if the strategy is positioned in an attractive industry and if it leverages the organization's strengths to navigate these competitive pressures effectively. A strong strategy often aims to operate in industries with weak forces or to shape the forces in its favor. 2. Evaluate generic strategy alignment. Verify that the strategy clearly articulates and consistently adheres to one of Porter's generic strategies: cost leadership, differentiation, or focus. Cost leadership. Achieve the lowest production costs in the industry, allowing for competitive pricing while maintaining profitability. Evaluating a strategy against cost leadership checks if it has a clear path to cost advantages that are sustainable and hard to replicate. Differentiation. Unique products or services that are valued by customers, allowing for premium pricing. Evaluating a strategy against differentiation checks if it has a clear and defensible basis for differentiation that resonates with a significant customer segment. Focus. Concentrate on a narrow market segment, specific buyer group, product line, or geographic market, aiming for either cost leadership or differentiation within that segment. Evaluating a strategy against focus checks if the chosen segment is viable and if the strategy effectively caters to its specific needs. Understanding which of Porter's generic strategies are more in line with the proposed strategy helps assess the company's competitive positioning and its potential for success within the industry context, as analyzed by the 5 forces. The evaluation should confirm if the chosen generic strategy is well-defined, supported by the organization's capabilities, and appropriate for the competitive landscape. Three. Evaluate value chain impact and configuration. Analyze how the proposed strategy will affect the firm's primary activities such as inbound, outbound logistics, operations, marketing, sales, service, as well as support activities within its value chain, firm infrastructure, HR, and technology. Assess whether the strategy optimizes value chain activities to reinforce the chosen generic strategy and uncover new sources of advantage. 4. Evaluate competitive scope decisions. Analyze the strategy's decisions regarding competitive scope, including product, service breadth, geographic reach, vertical integration, and target customer segments. Product, service breadth. This refers to the range of products or services a company offers. Evaluating a strategy's breadth helps determine if it's appropriately focused or diversified given market needs and organizational capabilities. Geographic reach. This describes the geographic areas in which a company competes. Evaluating the geographic scope assesses its alignment with market opportunities and the company's resources and internationalization strategy. Vertical integration. This indicates the extent to which a company controls its supply chain, from raw materials to distribution. Evaluating vertical integration helps determine potential cost advantages or disadvantages and the level of control over value creation. Target customer segments. This defines the specific groups of customers a company aims to serve. Evaluating the target segments ensures they are well-defined, substantial, and align with the company's value proposition and competitive advantage. When evaluating a predefined strategy, analyzing its chosen competitive scope helps determine its strategic positioning and how it intends to create value for specific customers within particular boundaries. The evaluation should confirm if the scope is clearly defined, internally consistent, and aligned with the chosen generic strategy and the competitive landscape. Five. Analyze competitor response and sustainability. Predict likely competitor reactions to the proposed strategy, utilizing competitor analysis frameworks to understand their objectives, assumptions, strategies, and capabilities. Evaluate the likelihood and intensity of competitive retaliation and its potential impact on the strategy's feasibility and profitability. Determine whether the competitive advantage conferred by the strategy is sustainable, considering factors like ease of imitation and technological change. By using this checklist, the planning team can gain crucial insights into the proposed strategy's robustness and potential for creating a lasting competitive edge. This thorough analysis ensures the strategy is well-grounded in the realities of the industry and positions the organization for sustained success against its rivals. And this concludes our discussion about strategy evaluation according to Michael Porter's competitive strategy. Please be sure to check our next episode where we discuss a strategy evaluation framework based on Igor Ansof's The New Corporate Strategy book. Until then, keep strategizing. See you soon.